What's going on, everyone? So, something that the Los Angeles Lakers did yesterday during the NBA draft was not draft a center. Now, to be fair, Lakers probably got the best player available at that time in Cameron Carter. Talk about a guy that, probably should have been a lottery pick that ended up falling to the Lakers at 24. That the Lakers ended up trading up with the New York Knicks in order to land and get. Great move, great pickup, great acquisition. Somebody that I think really could be just a high-end foundation piece for this team. You got now two, at least bare minimum, two athletic two-way wings, right? But them not drafting a center, once again, kind of begs the question of what are the Lakers going to do at center? If DeAndre Ayton opts out, they don't have a center on the roster. But honestly, I'm not worried about it. All right. Even if the Lakers did draft a center, that guy's likely not going to be the starting center, or hopefully he's not the starting center, right? You want somebody that's going to have some more experience. You're looking for somebody that can have an immediate impact, somebody that can immediately play a role that you can just trust and rely on, that could play off of Luka Doncic. The Los Angeles Lakers missed out on Nick Claxton for free. I say missed out because we don't know really either way, right? It's very possible that the Lakers didn't miss out. They just chose not to get him for multiple reasons. One, they might have just been like, he's not the guy that we want. Maybe a little too light. Kind of has been progressing downward the last few years on both sides of the basketball. The other route is that they already have somebody in mind. They already have somebody that they're close to trading for, or somebody that is close to being locked up or whatever. Right? There's paths to this. But to me, I think them drafting Carr on top of the Nick Claxton thing, you start putting these things together. I think that the Lakers have a plan at the center position. Now, is it a plan that we all look at and go boom, that's it, let's go? Lakers got the center rotation we all desired? I don't know. We'll see. That I don't know. I do, however, think that the Lakers do have something or some idea in place. The fact that you didn't just go get Nick Claxton for free, unless those teams just didn't want to work with you, which I don't think that would be the case. Again, I don't think the Chicago new regime, I don't think that they would have cared. They wouldn't even have been involved. Sean Marks is somebody that has a really good relationship with Rob Pelinka, so I don't think that, the two of them had a falling out or anything like that, and that's why it didn't get done. I think the Lakers didn't make a move for him because they want to go elsewhere, right? Now, that could be free agency, that could be trade, but then you also follow up that they didn't draft center. They could have drafted Sinek. A lot of people had Vassar land to him. Now, of course, all of this could just be kind of circumstance, right? Nobody knew Carr was going to be available. So you have to draft him, right? This best player available, you got to get him, right? Nobody, again, maybe they just didn't want Nick Claxton, had nothing to do about getting him free or not, or they just didn't want to use their cap space on Nick Claxton, all of their cap space, right? Maybe they wanted to give Jared Vanderbilt or something, and the other teams didn't want to do that. It's very possible that the Lakers have no idea what they have at the center position or what their plan is at the center position, and they're just kind of taking it as it is and just seeing how things develop, right? But personally, I think that the Lakers have an idea. Something that I talked about, I was talking very heavily that I thought the Lakers should draft a wing. Get a wing, right? The center position, I'm not worried about. There are going to be guys in the second round that the Lakers are going to be able to take. There are going to be guys even undrafted that I think the Lakers will be able to take. And Lakers it's harder to find somebody like a Cameron Carr if he turns out and pans out the way that I believe he will, than it is to find the type of center that the Lakers need. I have talked repeatedly about how Lakers don't need a $30 million center. Lakers don't need some super high-end center. They don't need this super skilled big man. They need a big man that can rebound, block shots, and defend, and be that vertical floor spacer. That's it. High energy, high motor, dirty work guy. Just make the hustle plays. That's what you need. That's it. That's all you need. And so, to me, I just think Lakers made the right choice. Nick Claxton's light. That's the problem. If you go and get Nick Claxton, you have to go and get a more burly center, right? More physical, kind of bull in the china shop type center. And look, maybe they would have went and got Robert Williams III, right? I just think that there are going to be center options. I mean, I want to do videos independently on this, but you look at OKC, ended up drafting a Damara. Is that the sign that they're going to move off of Isaiah Hartenstein? Got Mitchell Robinson, Robert Williams III. Mark Williams, could you get him for free? How would he feel about that? But maybe you can go get him. He's somebody that, giving up a first for, I'm not doing that. But if I can get him for free, now it's a different conversation, right? I get him on a prove it vet minimum deal, and it's a different conversation, right? But then you have getting trades, Vmisi, Khalil Ware. Do you go get a Miles Turner, right? Miles Turner, somebody, that I think you could get for free. And I think you could unload DeAndre Ayton, Jared Vanderbilt. I think, here's my guess. Could be completely wrong. Just a guess. I think it's probably something like a Miles Turner. I think it's something like a Miles Turner. And I think that they're waiting to see what happens with DeAndre Ayton and whether he opts in or not. Because if DeAndre Ayton opts in, now you trade him. If DeAndre Ayton doesn't opt in, then now I can use that cap space, or I can convince you to take something else, right? So, for example, choose Miles Turner for example. Right now, I can't do DeAndre Ayton, Dalton Connect, and Jared Vanderbilt. But after, the 29th, I can, because DeAndre Ayton's going to have to make his decision. So, now, let's say that DeAndre Ayton doesn't opt in. Okay, well, now I just got $8.5 million in cap space. I could either A, still count that and then just absorb that $8.5 million and get trade exception or whatever in that deal, or I can go take Jake LaRavia, right? And now you're taking Dalton Connect, Jake LaRavia, and Jared Vanderbilt. I free up at that point 3 roster spots, and I also got an extra $8.5 million. Now I got Miles Turner as my starting 5. That is something that I can absolutely see the Lakers potentially working on. Maybe it's a Daniel Gafford, maybe something like that. I think it's probably going to be a Miles Turner and like a Robert Williams III. My guess is it's probably, which again, Lakers might already know that Robert Williams is coming. I think it'll probably be something like a Miles Turner, Robert Williams III, and then a Jackson Hayes. That's my guess. Again, could be completely wrong. Maybe it's a Daniel Gafford, Robert Williams III, and Jackson Hayes. But I think it'll be something like, and you also got to keep in mind, a lot of these teams that had cap space no longer have cap space. I mean, they still do, but not like, and they've taken themselves out and said, like, Chicago's got their center rotation locked up. Maybe, why not go get a Mitchell Robinson or something like that? Again, there's a million things that you could end up getting, right? Like, to me, I look at this. There are several options at the center position. There are several potentials at the center position. I think the Lakers are probably looking at it too as like, there's enough options. We're going to get somebody, right? Like, we're going to land somebody. It's just, is it kind of the ideal center rotation, or is it something where we're all just like, oh, like that's what we got, right? Like, so we're going with that, huh? Right? Like, and again, drafting a center doesn't change anything. Like, again, you go draft a center. Yeah, sure. Like, maybe now you don't need a Robert Williams. If you go get like William Kyle, right? Like, okay, maybe now I don't need a Robert Williams because I already got a free Robert Williams that's cheaper and less injured. Okay. But then from there, it's like, I still need a starting center, right? I still need somebody that I can trust as my starter. right? And again, hopefully that they're able to find that. Hopefully they're able to find somebody. So we'll see kind of what the Lakers end up doing. Again, I'm confident that they have something worked out, right? Again, it's just you kind of look at the kind of writing, right? Like that's the thing. And again, I could be completely wrong, but I look at kind of some of the decisions that they've made, some of the moves that they've made. Again, Claxton was right there for the take. You could have gotten him for nothing. You didn't. It's a little odd that, like, unless you're just either, again, you just completely don't want him. And it's like, man, we can't say no to Carr, right? Like that could absolutely be a possibility, but time will tell. Anyways, always, this is a discussion, a past question. You let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. So we enjoy these types of videos, truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.